Yeah, I was just doing some dishes with my lovely lemon-scented Ajax dish soap. Probably the best brand out there.
Yeah.
A refreshing scent. A nice sud action.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you have against it?
The consistency is too watery.
What do you want? Oil? You want oily
No,
soap?
I want it to be thicker, and so I have to use less of it. AKA Dawn. Give me Dawn.
No, Dawn isn't.
Give me Dawn. Give me Dawn or give me death. What do we want? More Dawn. When do we want it? Soon.
What a ridiculous marketing campaign. We get oil off of baby birds.
Did you see the duckling? Did you see the oil-covered duckling and opened his mouth and he said, hey, thanks.
Yeah, Dawn and Dove. And they're fighting back and forth for the softest soap award.
Dove?
Yeah, Dove's whole thing is, we don't leave film on your body. We're so soft and gentle on the skin, the softest soap around.
I like the Dawn. Oh, but if this was a show about advertisements, then we could talk about that, because I don't like the new idea of that like spray foam Dawn dish detergent, like while you're using it, the dish soap. And it's saying like, keep one in your garage for greasy tire. You're like, no, I can just use the same little bit of Dawn from my sink. I don't need to have like a bottle in the garage, a bottle in the sink, a bottle here, a bottle there. That bugged me.
What soap was I just talking about?
Ajax?
No, before that. I mean,
Dove.
After that. Yeah, I did say Dove.
Yeah, I don't understand the connection between Dove and Dawn.
Because they're both trying to say we're so gentle. Look, this is oil. There's a harsh thing on this bird, but we're so gentle. We're protecting the bird by getting the oil off.
Yeah, but they're not in competition with each other.
Well, maybe they should be. Maybe people should start showering and bathing with dish soap.
Well, there is a drag queen hack for getting a lot of makeup off your face more quickly, and it's using that pink Dawn that you see, that's like a pearlescent, like cloudy looking pink Dawn, and you use that on your face in the shower.
Do you wash your face?
Yes, of course.
I mean, I guess I wash. I don't wash my face outside of the shower.
Oh, no, I wash it every night.
No,
every night.
Only in the shower. I take the shampoo and then I rub it all over my face.
No. And you also put like body lotion on your face, which is no.
It does. It's a cream. It's a moisturizing cream.
It doesn't. It's a different thing. The skin on your face is a different animal than the skin on your legs or your arms. It's a whole different thing.
Well, the skin on my face is a different animal than the animal on your face. This skin gets all red, and I use the Head and Shoulder shampoo, so I use it on the face.
Wonderful. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about using some Jergens that you'd use for after some freshly shaved legs.
Again.
And then putting that on your cheeks, on your nose.
What is
no
the
wonder.
difference? I have to moisturize the face.
And I have to you're supposed to use a moisturizer that's made for the more delicate skin on your face.
Give me a break.
I will not.
It's not that. Ladies
out there, you feel me? You feeling
what I'm saying is I need that soothing action that you get from whatever you put on your legs after you shave them, because my face gets red and dry and irritated. Yes. I need soothing.
Okay. I'm not soothing my legs.
That's what that whole thing is. To go, you've traumatized your legs with the blade, and now you have to get this on there to soothe those razor bumps.
No. Incorrect.
That's exactly what it is.
That is exactly. No one's like, oh, my legs are burning. No, it's not that. See, you're speaking like a man who shaves his face, and maybe your face burns after you shave. That's not what happens with your legs. You know why? Because the skin on your face is more sensitive than the skin on your legs. After you shave your legs, you just want to moisturize them because you've basically exfoliated your legs because you've dragged a razor over the front, over the skin. So you moisturize them. When you have like a dry face, you need a specific type of moisture that's different than the the skin on your legs or your elbows, your arms, or whatever.
One, I know nothing about shaving my face. I haven't completely shaved it. Well, maybe in the past 10 years, it's been a handful of times. 6 times.
Okay.
Two, look, it's different hair. It's coarser hair. There's a lot more of it that grows. So that's why when you shave your face, it's a little more irritated. Not because you can't use the... I don't know what argument I'm trying to make.
The wrong one.
I'm just trying to say it doesn't matter. Okay, fine. Here's what I'm going to say. Because I can't make an argument.
Ajax sucks,
No,
and I'm right about lotion.
Here's what I'm saying, because I can't make a valid argument that proves any kind of point. I don't care.
Because you can't. That's exactly
I don't
right.
care. I will use shea butter on my face.
Go ahead. Go ahead and do that.
What is shea butter?
It comes from the shea. You know, the butter from a shea.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that argument.
Yes, the shea fruit.
You know, I shouldn't have argued because it's my choice, and really, I've heard this before, and I've never done the research because the true answer is I don't care. I will put that on my face.
Yeah.
I should have just said that up front instead of trying to make up some.
This reminds me of times when I'm ignorant about history or, you know, where, you know, continents are or something.
Or how to spell. Or that line from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
What was that line? Where's fancy bread? In the
heart or in the head?
Yeah, and you thought it was literal fancy bread? Where fancy is an adjective and the bread is a loaf of bread?
Brioche. Fancy bread.
Instead of fancy being the noun and bread being created. Whereas fancy created. You thought it was actual fancy bread. So this reminds you that you're saying that me using Jergens on my face is the same as such an egregious mistake.
Now listen. You
No.
really have pulled this piece of information you have holding over my head. You're really pulling that out quick because that just happened on Friday.
I know.
I texted you on Friday. Where's fancy bread? In the heart or in the head? BREAD. Brioche, Hawaiian rolls, potato bread. These are fancy breads. Where are they?
So you were drawing the comparison that, look, there's things I don't know and there's things you don't know, Greg. And these are comparable things. Okay. I don't know a lot of things about lotion.
What I was gonna say was that you feel, it seems like you're proud of your ignorance. You're like, I'll just continue to be ignorant, even though I have information that it is going to be wrong. If you Googled it yourself and found out you'd find out you're wrong. You can continue to be wrong. You can make that choice. Or you can hear me and know that I am correct.
I'm not
and hear the
proud.
voices of thousands of women who are listening, screaming.
I'm not proud. I just don't care. There's a difference. There's never been a negative effect. The natural state of my face is negative enough, so therefore this Jergens, and I don't know why.
Maybe this would help it, because when you moisturize,
it does help it. It makes it better.
No. Then why is it still happening?
Because it's an ongoing skin condition that never goes away.
Maybe you are exacerbating the issue by using a moisturizer that blocks and stops your skin from creating its own sort of ecosystem that improves the ecosystem of your face.
No, because
I win the argument. Let's start the show.
You don't win that argument because it only ever shows improvement after I use.
Sure. Of course. Listen, if you slather on a bunch of Vaseline on your face, you know what's going to happen? It's not going to be dry. But you know what else is going to happen is that your face is going to stop producing the oils in the sebum that it needs to make.
And
when you have an existing
I don't need that.
issue,
I need to hinder that. This whole thing is an overproduction of the sebum. And why is sebum coming up on our show so much? But this it's an overproduction of it is what happens. Right. And it gets crusty.
But then why is it crusty?
It's this, and it dries, and it's gross. It's disgusting.
That's the oil?
Yeah, it can get, yeah. When I was a kid, behind my ears were the most disgusting, it was the grossest place on earth.
Can I tell you something? Ellie was like that for a while, and we stopped giving her dairy, and it went away.
Well, maybe it's similar.
Because she was having this like crusty crust behind her ear, and I always wanted to pick it. And she was like, "Get off of me!" And then once we stopped giving her dairy, it magically disappeared.
Well, this skin condition of mine is the same as babies get it. It's called like cradle cap or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ellie and Pete still have that shit on their head sometimes.
It's never gonna go away. Nobody knows what causes it. No, it just that's it. That's their fate. So here's a remedy. Body butter.
Jergens. Just squeeze it on their heads. Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ. Why do you laugh? Because I'm...
Because your hand was in front of your face, like, my name is Greg Russ.
Yeah, I was rubbing my eyes. I was preparing for the show. I was taking a deep breath and saying, here we go. Let's start this episode about underachievement, which sums up my whole life, I realized today, as I did nothing. I did nothing today except sit and play the stupid game on my phone. That Homescapes game. I spent hours playing Homescapes today, which is a match 3 game similar to Candy Crush, but it's a game that people can't stand because it has false advertising across all social platforms, apparently, online.
So what you're talking about is when you see advertisements within games, usually it'll have like a thing where someone's stuck in some water, and there are these levers and these like trapdoors that are stopping lava from getting to them, and you have to redirect the lava to like not hit the guy in the boat.
Yeah,
and
the
you
bastard.
think, oh, that kind of looks interesting, like a logic puzzle game, but that is not what this game is.
No, that guy, that bastard, Austin is his name. Okay. The bald guy with the mustache. What a son of a bitch. People do hate him. There are hate groups for this character out there. He really isn't likable. Why do they hate him so much? I don't know. I think the false advertising has put a bad taste in people's mouths. And it's really not a likable character. He's fine. He's a butler. And within the game, it's strange. You're at your parents' old mansion, which has fallen into disrepair because they're decrepit. But I mean, they're not. They walk around. They're not just sitting there on a couch, not moving like I did all day. But you go in to save the family mansion, and I do all the work playing the game, getting coins and points so he can buy new things. And at some point,
and fix up the house, right?
Yeah, and at some point, there's a car in the garage that's in disrepair, and the dad got in an accident and he's scared to drive, but this guy, Austin, insists that they fix up the car, and he forces his dad to drive despite his PTSD. It's
What? So there is no saving this Austin in a boat from the lava and a logic puzzle day?
No, it doesn't come up.
Never.
It has nothing to do with it, and I can't believe I'm playing the game, and that's not what this show is about. But for the first time, because the reason it ties into underachievement is because I have these ideas. I'm going to do things. Maybe I'll write something today. Maybe I'll edit something, because we did that one Beverly Hills Cop trailer recut where you played the music on the keyboard and it wasn't so great, but that was the point. And then I recut the trailer and put it to the Beverly Hills Cop theme. And
smoke.
Yeah, and I thought, which you can find this, I guess. I don't know if you ever posted it on our
I did,
Instagram, our One Topic Instagram that I never look at. Yeah, so this idea, I want to do these things. There's all these things. And then I just sit around all day. I drank an Ensure because I didn't want to make a meal.
You have Ensure?
No, I went to the store. I bought an Ensure.
Why wouldn't you just get something?
Nah, it was easy. I had to, force
what kind of place are you in?
I'm in. This is the place that I have existed most of my life, which is the topic of underachievement. I know from the outside, it probably looks, people, You have nothing to. I'm not complaining about where my life is. The fact that I am where I am because of underachievement really says something about how great of a person I am. It's like, wow, how amazing that you were able to do these things without even trying much. That's something else. But overall, yeah, that potential is, I'm far from it. It's not been met, which is a real shame. And maybe now at this point in my life, I'm thinking it's time. I procrastinate. That's what I do. Maybe it's time. And maybe it's time to get going and get things started and start living life in a different way that doesn't involve. This thing appears in my dreams now. This matching of the.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. So I'm really into Minecraft, and I see Minecraft everywhere. There's like a soccer, like one of those little fold-up soccer goals in somebody's little side yard here, and it's like a neon green color. And I look at it when I park. I always see it when I park, when I'm walking up to my door, and I always think it looks like sugarcane in Minecraft.
At least that's a more popular. I mean, I guess the game I'm playing is popular, but this is a game for
popular with like old women.
Yeah, this is a game for grandmas.
Yeah.
For some reason, it has captured my attention.
And now you've invested so much into it, it's hard to let it go.
And I invested $5 into it today because I needed some.
Today?
I needed some power-ups to beat a level I couldn't beat.
Is this this isn't the first time you've spent $5 on this, is it?
It's the first time I've spent $5.
First time you spent money on the game?
Maybe they should just be about homescapes, and we could talk about. There's also one called Gardenscapes.
Okay.
And then there's a different game that this company has made with a different main character, and the ads show her like having a potential threesome, and that has nothing to do with the game either. She goes into an old house that her aunt dies and has to fix it. It's the same thing, except it's a different type of matching game. Like that's a little different. Anyway, what did you ask me? This is the first time. It's the first time I've.
Oh yeah, how much money do you think you've spent total on homescapes?
I don't know, like $8, $9, but
including today?
Yeah, including today.
Okay. All right, it's not so bad.
I got to delete it. I got to stop playing it. It's these kind of things in my life that keep me from doing things.
So, it's not just the game that's keeping you. I mean, that's the thing you can hang your hat on to say like this stopped me today. But isn't it also that the things that you want to do, that you talk about doing, like you said, editing and writing, are actually keeping you from like an intimacy, right? Like a connecting with yourself, with something about yourself that might put you out there and make you vulnerable?
Yeah, sure. Leave you hanging on that one. Just kidding.
I'm saying you can have homescapes on your phone all you want.
I know what you're saying, and I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm just doing that because, fine. You want to get there? You want to talk about that? Is that where you want to go?
If you don't want to, I don't want to. But
well,
if you don't want to open that door, we can close it quick.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what the task at hand is. If it's something I don't want to do, I do procrastinate forever, and I just do the.
But we're talking about things that you want to do.
Well, I mean, let's just start there with school. When I was a kid, here's what school taught me: you can half-ass it and still do a really good job and get good grades. Screw homework. I'm not gonna. What, the test is worth 90% of the grade? Okay, I'll do a little bit of homework. Like maybe every other week, I'll get zeros on the rest of it. I'll do all right on the quizzes, and I'll ace the tests. That was my method. That was so.
Oh, you need to check your intelligence privilege because I was not able to do that. I was not able to not do the homework and then ace the tests.
Yeah, that's a shame because you had the test anxiety.
No, I just.
Oh, I
don't know, I can't spell. What is fancy bread?
So that's what school taught me. Here's what I got from our education system. Half-ass things, and you can still do a better job than most people. You can graduate. My high school GPA wasn't the best. I think it was only like 3.3. But
all right, you get the Hope Scholarship.
Yeah, that was maybe it was lower than that. That was, there's underachievement right there. Here's another example. I'm in pre-calculus my senior year. I find out I don't need to take this. I don't need any more math, so I switch for basic foods, and I go learn to bake dry cookies because it's just the easier path. Even though it's a skill, and even that I did. It's like I don't want to really learn how to make the cookies. I don't care that much.
Right.
So there was no real effort or attempt put forth, and everything was fine. That's the story. That's the story of my life. And then everything was fine. Maybe I'm overachieving. Maybe what's happening is for my natural being, where I could go, I'm definitely underachieving. But the way I'm actually operating in reality, maybe I'm overachieving. Maybe the show should be about the overachievement of Greg Russ. Look at this. Oh, look at this job. He's got a full-time job in New York City.
I know, and you make a decent amount of money.
And
that's not underachieving.
And he joins the Eric Von Hessler show, as they call it these days. Most people, I guess if people listen to that show, they still won't know. It was just a one-off joke that happened. Anyway, it's not the name of the show, but I joined that show. That's great. Yep. I'm involved in other creative projects.
We haven't missed 1 week for one topic since we started it.
Yeah. This is the one thing that I do that is ours, like take ownership of. Quite often I put myself in situations where it's someone else's project and I'll help out. It's like, okay, sure. Not too much at stake for me. It's like, here you go. Yeah, here's my help. I think
this is less about underachievement and just protection.
Well,
because if you put yourself out there, is it like a fear of failure?
It's about underachievement. You can give the reasons why the underachievement is happening.
Well, isn't that what we're doing, is figuring out how and why?
No, we're not figuring it out. We already know. You've already said.
Oh, okay.
Look, if you really want to get to the times that I've tried in my life, we've discussed my fear of death, right?
Yeah.
And no one near me, close to me, has actually ever died. I've never dealt with that. So the closest thing that I think that I dealt with that was a loss, and I didn't deal with it well, was leaving radio. And I still do the show, the Eric Von Hessler show. But, my own radio show.
Uh-huh.
When I was on the air in 99X in Atlanta, and I was doing my thing, they told me to stop doing my thing. They wanted me to be generic. It's like, at that point, it's like, what the hell's the... No, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here so I can be a voice on the radio and people can say, I hear your voice on the radio. And I can say, yep, that's me. And they can say, oh, wow, that's cool. And I can say, yep, that is cool. And I've got something above you because I'm on the... I wanted to do a show. I wanted to do a show that was entertaining for people. And they wanted me to be generic. So it's like, no, I'm going to keep doing my thing. And they take the show.
Interesting. So, when you did do what you wanted to do and put yourself out there, they squished you down.
Look, I fought the fight. I would fight the fight again. They removed me from the air. Their words. And this is the corporate management that ended up doing this, not Leslie Fram, who was my program director, who actually was very great, who listened to what I did on the air and said, here's how we can make that better, instead of saying, don't do that. So, I took to that advice. I'm not opposed to authority. I'm just opposed to stupid authority, which is most of it. Most people in positions of authority are idiots. So, okay, why are you here? How you don't even understand anything? Shut up. Oh, okay, fine. Shut up. Tell me to shut up. We're taking you off the air for being too creative. That's what they said.
Did they say the words too?
Yes.
And creative?
Yes.
Too creative.
This isn't
That's ridiculous. What a shitty way to put that.
It's not protecting my ego. This is the thing that was said.
Yeah.
So anyway, then I was like, all right, that wasn't an awful thing. I mean, it was a bad thing. It bothered me, but I was like, all right, now I can move to New York. Because there was this idea that, how are you going to give up this job to move to New York? It's a good job. And then they took the job away, and I said, okay, it's time to get out of here. And then I came up here, got hired at another radio station. At that point, I was pretending that I didn't want to do it, but I thought it was pretty cool that I was on the air in New York. And that station was sold after a few years, and then I decided, fuck this. I ain't chasing radio jobs. I didn't chase a radio job to New York. I wanted to live in New York. So I made the choice. I'm going to live in New York, and I'm not chasing radio jobs, and I guess that's over. But that was the one thing. Like, I put forth effort.
Right.
I made something happen. I also feel like there was a lot of luck. That was a big thing. Just getting on the air, and it's like being right place, right time. You put in the hard work.
When people look at their lives, I mean, you had to have an innate ability, but also, I mean, you had to put forth effort to learn how to do things and to be a kind of person that people wanted to hang out with and wanted to work with. So, But I think a lot of people in whatever life path that they've gone down, a lot of that stuff is luck.
I mean, yes, you have to be you get yourself in the position. Hopefully, you get the break, and then you have to be able to deliver on that.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot of people who never even get the chance to prove themselves. Like they try to get to the spot. So anyway, when I decided I was done with radio because I wanted to stay in New York. That was the loss. That was my loss. I was like, I just shut down. I was like, that hurts. That was the thing I wanted to do. I tried. I got the luck. Everything fell into place. That's never happening again. So, okay. The end.
And that's what happened.
Oh, after that's when I worked at that Gary Knoll guy's place for a little bit.
I'm sorry. With how you handled it, and you feel like you didn't handle it well.
Well, I'm telling you what I did after that.
Okay.
I worked at his place, and he was some crazy dude, some quack doctor who got some shady degree from God knows what college and told people to inject ozone into their veins, and that.
Well, I always see that ozone at the next to the candy in CVS. I always think maybe I'll get some ozone.
And said that he was an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
And he said coffee enemas would cure cancer, not chemotherapy. And he made documentaries. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to make some money so I can just live my life, whatever my life is going to be. Please don't put my name in the credits. I think Jake the Hammer Mesmeyer is credited in those films.
Okay.
in my camera roll.
Is anybody seeing that film? That whatever that is?
His crazy.
How would anybody see it?
His crazy weird followers would, which is.
Oh, okay.
We're getting off but that is the next step. I mean, look, it was supposed to be a stopgap. It's like, all right, I lost my job. The radio station here in New York is gone. I need some work. I have some video skills, and yeah, I did that. And then this is fine. This is okay. Any idea I have about what I'm going to do with my life right now, right or whatever, forget it.
How old were you?
That was 2011, so 29.
29. I think that a lot of people might sort of feel that way too, because the sort of path that we're all put on, at least from a certain generation onward, is you're in high school, you're supposed to be thinking about what college you're going to go to, what you want to do as your career, to follow this thing. And then you find yourself, with a degree in something, and you're graduated and you're looking around and you're trying to find a job in that field, or maybe you're in a job in that field, and you're really just going through the motions. You don't really know. You were never given the opportunity to find out what you actually wanted to do. So you were able to have the opportunity to find something that you actually wanted to do, and then the bottom was pulled out from
to have your dream. No, not just to have your dream ripped from your soul, detached. It's like pulling a skeleton out through someone's throat and then stomping on it.
Little Mermaid, when Ursula takes her voice.
The morning in radio.
Your legs.
Yeah, the actual morning. Fins. The morning though is it's an industry that I didn't fit in. It didn't. The kind of stuff I wanted to do was going to be very hard to do, and that wasn't a reason to not try. But at some point you weigh options and you decide, I don't want to spend my whole life chasing jobs. So it wasn't necessarily that the job was taken away from me and then I quit. It was, all right, I understand what this really is.
No, you wanted to be creative. You didn't necessarily, and I feel the same way. It's not about radio. It's about doing something that's creative and fulfilling in some way.
It was radio. I really enjoyed the medium. It's a very intimate medium. You listen to someone. That's it. It's all
right, but you
audio.
wouldn't be. I don't think that you would be happy at a radio station, just talking a little bit in between songs and then giving away tickets. That's what radio is in a lot of ways.
It's not even and it's not even live anymore for the most part. Then the people talking in between songs aren't even in the studio. Yeah. No, that's not what I want to do. I'd stab myself in the eye.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily about radio. What you want, I guess I was going to say, I said creativity and fulfillment, but maybe it is about like connection as well.
Well, it was just...
That's why podcasts are perfect.
Yeah, but this is a creative endeavor that I enjoy. But, you know, in our country, when I even talk about underachievement, I don't know what the hell I'm really talking about. It's just the standards that have been set by society, which a lot of the time ties to schooling and career. But also I underachieved quite a bit in my personal relationships. Friendships were good. I was always a good friend. But, you know, relationships, I was underachieving. So, look, I've been putting in the work. That's been getting better. One thing at a time. So it's not all underachievement at this point. There's some achievement happening.
Again, it's like exposure. It's intimacy.
Yeah. Who wants to be? I don't want to know myself. That's disgusting.
Vulnerability. I think that's the better word. Not necessarily intimacy. I think it's more about you feeling vulnerable.
Well, when you're putting your heart and soul into something you're creating, and you're not just doing it to be famous or to be rich, and it's like, and someone's like, that sucks. It's like,
well, you know what even is worse? They weren't even saying it sucks. They were saying this is too interesting.
Sure. I mean, the result I feel is the same. Yes, we can
because it's almost saying like we see what you're doing and how it's interesting and creative, but that's not what we're doing here. You're like, oh shit. So I am doing something that's kind of cool, but what you're saying, it's not. You don't want this cool. You don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want this.
You don't want this. And then you do the beach hop on your crotch. You don't want this.
This cool thing.
This cool thing. That's a hard feeling to feel. So instead, right afterward, you're frustrated and maybe bitter.
I was going to say frustrated is a little too weak of an adjective. Yeah, bitter. There was bitterness and there was anger. Yeah. But, you know, outside of that, then it's like, I'm not going to go down. I'm not going to chase any. And these people rule the world. I want nothing to do with this. So,
protect. You're like, protect myself.
Yeah, maybe it's not underachieving. Maybe it's I've created my own rules and I am mastering them. And I'm winning. And I'm not playing their stupid game. Yet I'm still doing fine. I made the career change into video production at 30. And now I've moved in. Like, people set out to do that. Like, usually it's, I want to make movies and TV. And that's another thing that's difficult to do. If you get in, great. And there's probably plenty of people who never have a chance to get in, who would be very good at it. But, you know, even the job I have, it's still a job I think people would want. And then it's like, who are you? Where did you go to film school? I didn't. I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah.
Everyone else has seemingly set out to do that as their career.
But then it makes you feel like you fell into it. Like you just stumbled into this career, which I guess you kind of did.
Well, yeah, that's the thing earlier. I was like, look at this. Look at all this success without trying. I think that people who set out to make films, probably if they're working in the job that I work in with video production and a lot of commercial production, wouldn't feel so good about themselves.
Right.
For me, it's like, it's my job. I can do this. And, the creative outlets for me are elsewhere, and I'll just ignore them. I will just never do them, and I will play.
Because those creative outlets expose you.
Yes. To
ridicule or to criticism, or maybe to appreciation.
Yeah, it's probably worse because there's this modesty. I have to live by this code of modesty. What if I did something that people loved? And the reason if people like our podcast, I am very appreciative of that. I think it's cool that we would do something that people enjoy listening to and hopefully get something out of. But if I was online and there was praise coming my way, I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Leave me alone.
See, I know there's not. To a degree,
no, you love it. You seek it out.
No, but not to the extent, because the way that I act have acted at the end of the show where I'm having to shill our show and like talk about our like I get weird about that. So there is a part of me that is like, oh, I just want to be like humble, you know? And the fact that we haven't really pursued any advertisers, and I feel like even if we did have an advertiser, like I think there might be an opportunity if we tried harder to get like Best Fiends to sponsor us, because Best Fiends just throws a huge net over podcasting and just like whoever wants to advertise. You know what Best Fiends is?
Nope.
It's the same thing as your Homescapes, basically. It's just another like matchy falling game. And but I was thinking about applying for it or doing whatever needed to be done to get it, and I thought, do I even want to be the person who's like, guys, Best Fiends is great, use our code, you can get a free apple or whatever it is, you know? I felt uncomfortable thinking about getting the opportunity to advertise on our show, because I just felt like if we're going to advertise, and this isn't written in stone, but the ideal way for us to advertise, to me, is for something that we legitimately use and like and want to tell other people about. Not something that's like, guys, Casper mattress. You know?
I would try a Casper mattress, though. Apparently they're all right. But
no, that's fine. But
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Look, I shoved the Hoff and Pepper commercial at the end of the show.
Yes.
Which maybe who's listening to it when the show is ending? Probably no one.
I know. And it's the same. We need to switch it up. We need to make a new one.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a different thing. I don't want it to start out the show. The show, to me, is a thing that we do. And it,
right.
You know, it would be great if we could make some money on it. Maybe the show is underachieving. Maybe if we pushed harder, it could do more.
I know. So there was someone I was talking to once who had their own podcast called Off the Rails, that I've been on a couple times. And he so he's in Wisconsin, and he's like a big fish in a small pond there. But he uses that to every advantage. He's got local advertisers. He's getting like VIP tickets, backstage, whatever, to concerts and stuff based on his body. Because he says he's got like big dick energy. And I like that idea.
No, that's awful. You like this idea? You want to be the person who leverages the podcast to get free things and go see concerts?
No. And he doesn't just get the free things. He uses them on the show and does things for the show with it. But I just like, I do kind of like that, because I guess maybe if he's doing it 100%, I'd like to do it at like 60% of that. You know, a little bit more for the show.
Well, I would never give you a sign-off.
Yeah.
On going backstage at the NSYNC reunion.
I'm not saying that's what I want to do.
You know who I am?
I don't want to go. I don't want to meet Kid Rock backstage.
That's not what this is about. This is, as we talk about, I'm realizing there probably is an underachievement. There is, because who knows what I could have done if I put forth effort and practice writing and actually tried and put myself out there and at risk and exposed. So there is that underachievement. But also, it's like it's a generalized term, and it's like the idea of the show being able to do more. To me, that's not underachievement, because that's a different skill, and I don't have that skill set, and it's also not something I value. Like, I enjoy doing the show, going on Patreon. Give us money, please. I need the money, and your money, please. It's worth $1 a month if everyone gave $1. I don't know. It'd be great if I made some money, if you made some money off of this.
Yeah.
That would be nice. But I'm not going through that whole process, because that's not what matters to me. So.
Correct. I'm not saying that I would want, like I said, I'm not trying to get backstage passes. What I'm saying is, though, if we put just a little bit of more effort into getting some money for the show, then it could be, we could find something, or maybe something would come up because we're doing the work that would be perfect and not feel like we're, quote, selling out or maybe like begging for money. It would be
tough, because then if we didn't do it properly, it could make me resent the show.
Right.
Because then it lost.
Oh, you're very fragile.
Well, I lost that.
Don't let him feel resentful of the show.
Yeah, we have to be careful of that. There's a pathology where I have to live in this modesty.
Yeah. Then you have to deal with that.
Like
there can be effort put in and remain modest.
That's a different skill set. That's not a skill set that I'm underachieving at because I'm not a salesperson. I don't know how to sell. I wouldn't be good at selling or promoting or marketing.
Right, but you're saying like you have to stay at zero. And I'm not saying you have to be like the typical, pejorative type of salesman, but there could be something. There could be a little bit more than nothing and still remain modest and humble.
If there's maybe some people have a dream to be a salesperson. Maybe that person's listening now. They're young and they want here's your break. You want a break? Right, they'll give you a break. You can have 10% of whatever money is brought in. Go sell the show. Young salesperson who...
Yes.
Does anyone dream of doing that?
I feel like only if they have like an idealized uncle or something.
Yeah, or I think...
I'm going to be in sales.
It is a skill. I'm not trying to say it's not a skill.
Because there is like a thing where like if you push the gas too far as a salesman, then you lose the sale. But if you just ease into it and you make them believe and trust all of that stuff, that's a skill.
Yeah, it's manipulation. I'm good at manipulating and persuading and kissing ass.
But sometimes if you actually believe, that's the thing, is that it has to be something. Okay, so for your perfect idea, like if you were forced to be a salesperson, then it would have to be something that you actually believe in and aren't even trying to sell. You're just trying to like give them advice about how like this thing is better.
I think that all creative ideas are hijacked, packaged, and sold, and then they lose their meaning and value. And that's what I try to avoid.
Seltzer. You could sell seltzer. You could be a Schweppes salesperson.
I like seltzer.
I know, and you have thoughts about it. You have, you trust the Schweppes products.
I could sell seltzer. I couldn't sell the show, is what I'm saying, because then it changes in my mind the dynamic of the show. It exists as an entity, a product, instead of a thing that people listen to because they enjoy it. But then
the issue is, the problem comes in where it's like, well, we just have to magically somehow get another sponsor, and then we have to. It has to be the perfect thing, and we have to speak about it perfectly so that you don't feel weird about it.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. That's fair. Someone else do that work. I'll just keep. I'll keep doing the show.
No, I'm the same way. I mean, I'm very similar in that way. Where, the reason why this sounds annoying to say, but the reason why we are talent is because we're not good at stuff like that.
I hate that you said that.
I know. Listen,
there's no talent.
I don't mean it in like a braggadocious or like a that kind of way. What I mean is that this is why people like us would have an agent, because we're not going to go into a meeting and like demand a bunch of money and talk about our worth. We're gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, whatever you want to give us. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you're saying.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. I wish that the model was the same, but now you have to do it all yourself. So, because of circumstance, I am underachieving in that realm of self-promotion and marketing, but I do not feel bad about myself for that because it's not something I care about. So,
right.
In that realm, yes, that is happening for sure, but it's like, no, I do all the work. So then you can say, okay, now we'll put you on this podcast network and you can have a little bit of money. We'll make more money off of you because you did the legwork. No, you come in, you do the work. If you even think there's value. Anyway, back to your dreams. What was I know what your dream. You wanted to sing and be on Broadway. And look what did you do? What happened? What happened to you? Let's get into that for a little bit.
All right, now hold on. Before we get into it, I think you need to change your tone. There's a little venom in your voice right now. Like, what did you do? Oh, did you want to sing? Little girl wants to sing on Broadway. Look at you now, you loser.
Look, that's the tone of my voice. Isn't that was a dream that you had or a thing you wanted to do? It's just you never tried. A lot of people don't try. A lot of people are trying.
Embarrassed.
I
couldn't sing. Yeah, I was embarrassed to sing for real in front of anybody.
Why?
I don't, because it was probably a vulnerable feeling. Yeah. I remember I told Eric once that I really, well, so, like gospel-y sounding background singers and how awesome they sound. I talked about how I wanted to be a background singer. And Eric Von Hessler was like, way to dream big.
Yeah, it was the same thing. I was like, I'll be your help on this creative project that's yours. Sure.
Yeah.
The same thing as the backup singer.
There's no stakes. Just the background singer.
No, but I mean, you could be more than the background singer.
Yeah, I did want to sing. If I had done the hard work and the lessons and the whatever and gotten over sort of why I was feeling so embarrassed or shy about singing as much at a level that I could on my own, in front of others, then yeah, maybe I could have been one in a million other people trying to get into not Broadway. I don't feel, see, even now I can't even talk about it like.
You're feeling embarrassed. I don't understand why. Look, yes, people want to do
to the same reason why you're saying, where it's like to say that I could dream of Broadway is embarrassing and sounds stupid.
Yeah, maybe I'm holding on to this idea that no matter what I tried to do, as difficult as it may have been, I could have done it. I could have done it. Maybe I couldn't have,
right,
because some of these things are so difficult that the probability of not making it professionally is
even
so
when
high.
you overachieve on it.
Yeah, it's so high that
or just achieve.
You're not going to probably make it, and therefore I couldn't deal with that, so I just didn't try. Maybe that's.
I think that if I could go back, maybe I would have, tried to get over some of that embarrassment and gotten into musical theater. Nothing. I mean, I never dreamt of Broadway.
So what if you did?
All right. Well, so what if I did? But I didn't. I never thought Broadway is a thing I'll do. But yeah, I had like, yes. Okay. Yes. I would sing, Part of Your World from Little Mermaid. This is the second Little Mermaid reference in the show. I would sing that, what would I give to live where you are? I would sing that in the shower, and I would imagine that I'm auditioning for something.
That's nice. I used to listen to Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA album and pretend I was a robot on stage who just walked around as he performed. That's and I would always go around the corner when a song ended, like off the stage. See? Look, the things I want, they don't exist. These things,
robot?
Yeah. I don't know what the point was. And so between songs...
Like Bruce loves robots.
Between songs, I would go off stage around the corner, and then the song would start again. I would come back out, and like the crowd would be going wild that the robot's back. As Bruce is on stage singing and playing.
Yeah.
But
that's amazing.
Yeah, see? The things that I want don't exist. So why even bother trying? You're never going to get...
You'll never be
wanna
that
do
robot.
You want to do a creative radio show? I mean, I know, Eric is doing the show. You get to be on it's his show. But
yes, it is very much
it's like
his
it
show.
It really doesn't exist that much anymore. It was already hard enough, and then it kind of went away. But for you, like, when we talk about underachievement, I don't feel like if you try and don't make it, that's underachieving.
Oh, no.
I think just having potential, though, and trying to get to max out that potential. Maybe the max isn't good enough to get you to where you really want to go, but if you max it out, if you get there to the top of your potential,
underachievement really is thought of as just someone, and this is what you're saying about yourself in the beginning of the show, where it was like you're lazy, you lack ambition, which I guess is the same thing as laziness, sort of.
Which I didn't. It's there. It's come out before. When it came out before, I was like, that was a lot of work. And then this didn't work out. And why even bother? Because it's never going to happen.
Well, that's the thing. I think that really underachievement is a protection, right? People are protecting themselves. And so when someone is underachieving, maybe, they've had an intrusive parent that always sort of told them that they were supposed to be better than they were ever able to achieve. And so they decided to stop trying, or maybe it was someone with anxiety that when they did put themselves out there, it gave them that fight or flight. So they were just like flight, or I think that it makes you vulnerable. And for some reason, based on whatever, you can't handle that vulnerability. So you just sort of skate below something.
Yes, that's where I live.
Well, this has changed. Below. This has changed my idea of an underachiever. It's not, and especially like this is what I think of. I think of some school, institutional official saying like he's an underachiever. She's an underachiever. When really, like, there's a reason why this person is underachieving.
There's always reasons. I mean, even in school, it's like if a teacher sees the potential of the student to get better grades, but the student isn't putting forth the effort, why isn't the student putting forth the effort? It's multiple reasons. Why is the student taking basic foods?
I know, but the easy thing, and I think the broad brush is that they're lazy.
Which,
people hide behind lazy. People hide behind that. Like, well, I'm just lazy. You're like, no, it's because you're afraid.
Yeah, laziness is a whole other thing that would be interesting to explore. I don't know what drives laziness. Some of it, I do think some people do have more energy and are a little more motivated by nature.
But again, what's behind? I say that too. There are a lot of people in my family that have a motor. It's like if you ask if something needs to be done and my Uncle Vince is around, he's getting it done. But even though those things are beneficial, like those people get shit done and that's great, what's behind that motor? What's making them not be able to sit still?
Yeah, same things. Uncomfortable with yourself.
Just the other side of the coin.
I don't want to know who I am. If I sit and think too much. If I sit and think and I'm still, that I'm going to hear all the voices and all, not schizophrenia voices, but all the negative thoughts, all of the ideas, the worries, the regrets, those are all going to start like piling up and getting louder and louder, and I'm not going to be able to feel it, so I got to go mow the lawn. Even though I just mowed it.
Yeah.
Even though it's Bermuda grass and it's winter.
I need to go do that.
Fescue stays green. Bermuda, that turns brown.
I saw a dead tree out in the woods. I gotta go chop that down and get it.
And it sticks all over your body, the Bermuda grass, when it's in the winter. If you're rolling it. There's a lot of experience with Bermuda grass. Anyway.
Okay.
I do. Okay. Anyway, I think I bring this up because I know that there's the ability. Well, let's start here. Things that you really want do take a lot of work, big things. Like moving to New York, I feel like I've been here 12 and a half years. It took me 11 years to even get to the point where it's like, all right, I think I'm not saying it couldn't have happened sooner, but it's like I also am very fucking slow with things and changing and behaviors. It's like sometimes it's slow. But it's like, all right, still the point is I came here and I stayed here and I made it work. I know what it took. And it took, it's a lot of selfishness for a bit of time and living in conditions that most people would never want to be in. And it's not that bad. But, in very small, dark apartments, not like this luxurious mansion I have now.
3 windows.
Yes. There's natural light, and that is what matters. Natural light comes into this place. You don't have to have a lamp on during the day. That's a big deal. But anyway, It took some of this, and, it's something that I am proud of. And could I have made something work sooner? Sure. If, we're talking about when the radio station RXP went away here in New York, that if I moved into something else and started really trying at that point, maybe it wouldn't have been 11 years, but the path I took and the minimal effort, it still worked.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing this, though, what kind of work needs to go into things, sometimes I think I'm too old. And I know that I'm not. I know that I'm not too old to start working on other things. Writing, if you want to pick something, writing, for example. So I think by nature, I have some talent, but it's also a skill that needs to be honed, and I haven't done that much. And it's like, all right, what, do you spend another 10 years doing that? It's like, yeah. So sometimes it just seems overbearing. Like radio seemed like a lot. Started as an intern, worked in promotions, was a board op. I mean,
but that's when you were young and it was all the time in the world.
Yeah. And that's also, this is the path. This is the way this works. Right. I'm here. I'll do a good job.
And you were making, back then it was like, you were seeing progress really quickly. It's not like you were an intern for 5 years.
No. The point is, though, if I'm into something, I can make it work.
Yeah. That's anything. That's anyone. It's anything and anyone.
So it's in me, is what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah.
Laziness isn't just...
Maybe something can be fake it till you make it.
Ugh. Imposter syndrome. Shuts that down.
No, imposter syndrome is something else.
Well,
imposter syndrome is where you're doing something that you're very much
you actually are good
qualified in.
And you don't feel. Yeah, I was just thinking, you're right. But I was thinking you are an imposter. And some people fake it. And other people are like, I'm an imposter.
But no. This is not... Just because it may apply negatively to someone else doesn't mean it has to be for you. You are someone who has the talent.
I don't like faking it. Fake it till you make it. That's inauthentic.
What I mean is to say, like, be conscious of what you're doing.
I've got to be authentic.
In that moment,
I have to be authentic and modest. These are big ideals for me.
You can be both of those things and realize that you're still playing your homescapes and, like, sit in your body for a second and say, like, what am I avoiding right now? And then you think about what you're avoiding, and then you ask yourself, why am I avoiding that thing? And then maybe you'll go back to playing your game. Or maybe you'll get up and take a walk and then write something.
I think it's just getting started. I agree. Once you get started,
I feel like what I said was perfect and right.
I agreed with it. All I'm saying is, like, I always have this idea that once I get started on something, the ball gets rolling, then I can get into it and actually get the thing done. But sometimes you just want to play homescapes because, there's a competition going on that ends in 6 hours and you want to be number one on the leaderboard, and another player named Otto has surpassed you and now you're number 2, and you got to put in levels and get some wins so you can get all those prizes at the end.
So I'm realizing where I got that very wise wisdom that I just said, and it was from my therapist.
Chicken soup for the song.
Yes, it was from Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, Chicken Soup from the Soul, Dogs Don't Look Up. It's an acronym, RAIN, and it's recognize, acceptance, investigate, and nurture. So the recognize is like, recognize what you're feeling and maybe where it is in your body and, whatever. And then the acceptance is just like, be okay that you're feeling this way. And then investigate what's the source and, like, what should I do about it? And then nurture it. How do I care for myself? It's okay that I'm feeling this right now. I thought that was good.
I think it's good. Did you feel dismissed because I didn't acknowledge? I said it.
Yeah, you're like, that's good. I think it's just about getting started.
I'll go back. Yes. Wow. Yeah. You really got me thinking, Autumn. See, now it sounds inauthentic, but
what I wanted you to be like, it's a good point. I'll try and practice that. Maybe I'll practice that.
I think it's a good point. I do.
Okay. I'm not upset.
I think you felt dismissed.
I
apologize is what I'm saying. I apologize.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't feel dismissed in like, I feel dismissed. No? I feel like you didn't acknowledge it for what it... See, now it's built... Okay. Now we're like a snake eating its tail, because now I'm like, it's too much. It wasn't that important. But I feel like at first it wasn't given the importance I felt like it needed.
Okay. Well, let's just move on from it.
Ugh, can we edit this? Can you mark this?
No, again, authenticity. We got to keep this.
Okay.
I'm not editing the show so we sound perfect and wonderful all the time. See, I just said wonderful instead of wonderful. Maybe I'll edit that.
Yeah.
I'll edit.
No, do not. No.
I'll make myself.
No.
I'll make the edit right next to the edit you want and only change the thing.
Make sure that if you do it, you got to put your voice in as like a totally different thing.
Okay. Anyway, we can wrap this up. I realized that thinking about these things, I actually overachieve in many realms, things I don't care about because there is no weight. There's no risk.
No risk. Like what?
Well, I shouldn't say it's things I don't care about, but things I never set out to like really do. Like all the sound design that I ended up doing. I enjoy it.
And you work really hard for that.
Yeah. And I realize I'm good at it. But it's because there were no stakes originally up front, so I didn't overthink it. And I just went for it. And if I wasn't good at it, I'm like, okay, who cares? That wasn't my identity. Maybe it's part of the problem.
It's not yours.
Yeah, it's not mine.
Yeah.
It could ruin someone else's product. Because that's what they want to do. They want to monetize it. They want to make money. They're not doing it for the art. I'm just saying this.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Gotcha.
It's not true. I've worked with plenty. I mean, look, ideally, if you can get paid and make money to do something that you enjoy doing, then I'm not opposed to that. I'm just saying when it changes the thing that you're putting out there.
Yeah, that is the balance, I guess, with an art. You know, is that you want it to be sort of self-motivated and not outside motivated.
Yeah, it's hard to do because if it's something you care about and you put it out there and it gets rejected, that sucks. Or if it gets hijacked, like, you got to change it because it got to be marketable to so many people so we can make a lot of money.
That's right.
We got to make
now
money.
That we have Casper mattress, I can't say shit, fuck, piss.
We have to make our money. So I mean, things like that. If you can, like I try not to. Obviously, we curse on the show, but I don't do it just for the sake of it.
Right.
So, you know.
What if there was some, we can't talk about this because...
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't talk about bed bugs. I was like, well, I had a whole show ready to go on bed bugs. I had 3 days of research.
No. Casper says no.
Yeah. Casper doesn't want to call attention to the bed bugs.
Oh, Casper.
Don't remind people that bugs that suck their blood can get into their beds.
Do they suck your blood?
Yeah.
I don't know what bed bugs do. They bite you? Suck you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They engorge themselves with your blood.
Ew. Then why isn't it a tick?
Well, they don't attach the same way.
Oh, okay.
Then they retreat back to the crevices of your mattress. And that's where
and feast on the skin.
That's where they like to live. So, okay. I'm only an underachiever in certain realms. Things I care about is where I underachieve, and things I don't care about. What a guy! What an achiever!
I feel like this show really changed my mind about what is underachievement. Yeah, what it actually means to underachieve, and what the word really means. Yeah, like the definition is different than what it means when someone is an underachiever.
It's just not your ex-boyfriend, the one who was 31 when you were 15, who smoked pot all the time. It's not just that guy.
He wasn't 31.
And also, what were the reasons he was 31?
He was 36.
What were the reasons he was 31, dating a 15-year-old and smoking pot all the time, and being an underachiever? A slacker, as people like to say.
Yeah. All right, thanks for listening to One Topic. Like and subscribe, rate and review. Check out our sponsor. We don't put them at the front because we're so humble. HoffandPepper.com. Use our code OneTopic15 for 15% off of some really awesome, locally made and sourced hot sauce. Do it. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Autumn.
Do you like hot sauce?
You know, I do like hot sauce, but I'm getting pretty bored of my regular Texas Pete or Tabasco. I'm looking for a local sauce without any additives or extracts. A company that uses local peppers so it's as fresh as possible, and a company that really cares about the integrity of the sauce and where their ingredients come from.
Definitely.
And hey, while we're at it, I don't want a sauce with too many ingredients. You know, a lot of other sauces out there, they have all kinds of fillers. So I'd love to find a sauce with I don't know. What? Let's say no more than 5 ingredients. I mean, it's crazy, but there's gotta be a company out there that hand processes their sauce. You know, bottling and labeling every bottle themselves. I'm probably asking a lot.
Well, you really are, but there is a hot sauce out there who only uses 5 ingredients,
What?
0 fillers, additives, or extracts, and who bottles, labels, and packages everything themselves. It's called Hoff Sauce.
What?
They're a small batch hot sauce company out of Chattanooga, Tennessee that's won Best Louisiana-style sauce in the country. How many times? Not once, not twice, 3 times.
3 times!
How does that sound, Greg?
I think that sounds amazing.
You know how you can get your own bottle of hot sauce?
No, tell me please now.
Hoffandpepper.com. And not only am I giving you the gift of the best hot sauce that you'll ever taste, I'm going to give you 15% off if you use the code ONETOPIC15.
Hold on, that's
Yes, get a pen and paper.
1 topic 15.
Good. That's ONETOPIC 15, all squished together at checkout. You'll get 15% off your order and your life will be better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.